Hey there, movie fans, and welcome back to US Hollywood Movie Review. Today, we're diving into a film that's got everyone talking, a bold and haunting twist on a classic tale, Abraham's Boys, a Dracula story released in 2025 and directed by the visionary Natasha Kermani. This isn't your typical vampire horror flick with capes, fangs, and moonlit castles. Instead, it's a sun-soaked psychological drama that takes the legendary Abraham Van Helsing and drops him into the dusty plains of California's Central Valley, 18 years after he supposedly staked Count Dracula. With an IMDB rating of 4.7, this film has sparked mixed reactions. Some love its introspective depth, while others crave more traditional scares. So, grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's unpack this intriguing addition to the Dracula mythos, crafted from Joe Hill's chilling short story and brought to life with a stellar cast and Kermani's unique flair. Abraham Van Helsing, played with gripping intensity by Titus Welliver, is no longer the fearless vampire hunter we know from Bram Stoker's novel. He's a father now, living in a remote farmhouse with his wife, Mina Harker, portrayed with heartbreaking nuance by Jocelyn Donahue, and their two sons, Max and Rudy, brought to life by Brady Hepner and Judah Mackey. The year is 1915. And the family has fled Europe to escape the shadows of Dracula's legacy, settling in a place where the sun blazes bright, far from the Gothic gloom of Transylvania. But don't let the golden hour shots fool you. This isn't a feel-good family drama. Abraham is haunted, paranoid, and convinced that vampires are still out there, lurking in the shadows he can't escape. He's imposed strict rules on his boys: no going out after dark, no questioning his authority. It's a suffocating existence, and Kermani captures this tension beautifully, using a tight 4:3 aspect ratio that makes the wide-open California landscape feel like a prison. Quick pause, folks. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the latest in Hollywood. Back to the film. The cinematography by Andrew Weedy is stunning, with sweeping shots of dusty hills and colorful fields that contrast sharply with the dark, claustrophobic interiors of the Van Helsing home. This visual dichotomy mirrors Abraham's own duality, a man torn between protector and tyrant, hero and potential madman. As Max, the elder son, starts to come of age, he begins to push back against his father's iron grip. Hepner's performance is raw and relatable, capturing the frustration of a young man caught between loyalty and rebellion. He's curious about the world beyond the farmhouse, especially when a new neighbor, Elsie, played by Aurora Perrineau, enters the picture. Elsie's arrival sparks questions not just about the outside world, but about Abraham's past. What really happened with Dracula? Is Abraham's fear of vampires justified, or is he unraveling under the weight of his own trauma? Rudy, the younger son, is still under his father's spell, and Mackey's wide-eyed innocence adds a layer of tragedy to the story. Then there's Mina, the heart of the family, whose presence is a major departure from Joe Hill's original short story, where she's deceased. Donahue's Mina is both a calming force and a woman grappling with her own scars from the Dracula days, adding depth to the family dynamic. Kermani, known for her bold choices in films like Imitation Girl and Lucky, doesn't shy away from subverting expectations. Instead of leaning into jump scares or blood-soaked horror, she crafts a slow-burn narrative that's more about psychological dread than cheap thrills. The film asks big questions. Is Abraham a hero protecting his family from real monsters? Or is he a man lost to paranoia, dragging his loved ones into his delusions? This ambiguity is what makes Abraham's Boys so compelling, drawing comparisons to films like Frailty, where the line between truth and madness is razor thin. The Hollywood News Review praises Kermani's ability to play in shades of gray, noting that the film cast doubts onto Van Helsing's account of Dracula, encouraging the audience to reevaluate everything they think they know. Similarly, Roger Ebert's review calls it a thoughtful but bloodless chiller, highlighting Welliver's commanding presence and the film's striking visuals, though it notes that the pacing can feel sluggish. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film sits at a 67% critic score and a 50% audience score, reflecting its divisive nature. Some viewers love its introspective approach, while others find it too slow, craving more traditional vampire action. The score, composed by an unnamed artist, weaves eerie atmospheric tones that amplify the tension without overpowering the story. You'll hear the creak of the old farmhouse, the howl of the wind, and subtle musical cues that keep you on edge, wondering when or if the vampires will strike. Kermani's use of mirrors and reflections is another clever touch, reinforcing the theme of reality versus perception. Characters often catch their own gazes, questioning who they are and what they believe, a motif that ties directly into Abraham's struggle. In interviews, Kermani has spoken about her fascination with masculinity and father-son dynamics, themes that resonate deeply here. She told Movie John that she sees the film as a reflection of classic themes about parentage and how sons are shaped by their relationships with their fathers, choosing what to accept and what to reject as they grow into adulthood. Joe Hill, the story's author and son of Stephen King, has also praised Kermani's work, telling Horror Geek Life that she crushed it in adapting his tale. Unlike the short story, which focuses tightly on Abraham and his boys, the film expands the narrative to include Mina, giving us a richer look at the family's emotional core. This change adds a layer of warmth, but also tragedy, as Mina tries to hold everyone together while grappling with her own fears. The film's setting is another standout feature. Most Dracula stories are drenched in gothic darkness, but Kermani flips the script, setting this tale in the bright, arid Central Valley. The Hollywood News Review notes that one can be forgiven for forgetting about the vampires altogether in this sunlit world, yet the brightness only heightens the sense of isolation. The film's 1 hour and 29-minute runtime feels both deliberate and, at times, stretched thin. Some critics, like those at Screen Rant, argue that it's not very scary, counting the scares on one hand, while others, like Letterboxd reviewers, call it deeply thematic and incredibly intense. The pacing can drag, especially in the middle act, where repetitive dialogue and a lack of action might test your patience, yet when the climax hits, it's a gut punch, forcing Max and Rudy to confront the terrifying legacy they've inherited. The film's supporting cast, including Cordion Moore as Jonathan and Larry Cedar as Dr. Seward, adds familiar Dracula names, but they're more like background notes in this family-focused story. What makes Abraham's Boys special is its refusal to be just another vampire movie. It's a meditation on trauma, belief, and the weight of legacy wrapped in a visually stunning package. Kermani's direction, paired with Welliver's cooperative performance, makes it a film that lingers, even if it doesn't always deliver the horror thrills you might expect. So, what's the verdict? Abraham's Boys is a bold, divisive film that trades gore for introspection, earning its 4.7 IMDB rating with a mix of brilliance and flaws. If you're ready for a slow-burn journey that challenges your perceptions, give it a shot. Let us know what you think in the comments. And again, if you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell to stay up to date with everything U.S. Hollywood Movie Review. And thanks for joining us, movie lovers. We've got more reviews coming your way, from blockbuster hits to hidden indie gems and even some juicy behind-the-scenes Hollywood scandals. Don't miss it. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and stay spooky.